Hans Germann. He's a member of the Swiss Upper House of Parliament representing the Swiss People's Party, joins me now. Thank you very much indeed for your time. And Mr. Hildebrand will be speaking out later today, won't he, to really establish his position in all of this once and for all, answering to these accusations. What do you want to hear from him?
I want to hear a clear presentation of the situation, and I hope he will be able to clarify the situation, because now we are in danger. We are jeopardizing our national bank.
Why? Why is the national bank in jeopardy?
Yeah, Mr. Hildebrand is the #1 in Swiss banking. The Swiss National Bank has an independent position and a very important task against the markets, against the economy, against the jobs in this country. And they play a very important role around the world, and they can influence the relevant markets. And so they lead with the interventions in the financial markets, and unfortunately the family made some kind of parallel or front running.
But Mr. Germann, you're talking about the Swiss National Bank, aren't you? And Mr. Hildebrand's policy has earned him praise from other Swiss politicians in terms of his stance on boosting the capital of banks and then setting a ceiling for the Swiss franc against the euro because of how the strengthening currency was hurting the eurozone. So actually you could argue that he has been doing his job just fine.
Sorry, I couldn't understand you very good.
I was just saying...
Can you repeat, please?
Yes, of course. I was just saying that Mr. Hildebrand's policy at the central bank, his position when it comes to things like boosting the capital, strengthening the capital base of banks, when it comes to reducing risk in the system, setting a ceiling for where the franc trades against the euro, these things have actually earned him praise from politicians and others. So you could argue that he is doing his job.
Yes, up to now he did he did his job very well. He was able to make the situation between the Swiss franc and the euro better, and it's very important for our large exporting industries. But on the other side, the National Bank has to gain the confidence and has to keep the confidence in the markets and in the country, and as well as from the side of politics. And for the time being there are too much questions about the insider trading or the suspicion of an insider trading, and that's not very good for the situation.
But Mr. Germann,
it's more...
I'm sorry, forgive me, but with all due respect, there was an investigation by the Swiss National Bank that cleared Mr. Hildebrand of any wrongdoing.
Yeah, now the board of directors and the Federal Council have really to act and to take the clear questions, the right questions. So Mr. Hildebrand must be able to clarify the situation within the next few days, otherwise he had to take the consequences.
Mr. Germann, just one final question. Do you think that it's Mr. Hildebrand that has to step down to repair this crisis of confidence as you describe it? Or is it something more systemic? Is it that the code of ethics, the code of conduct, is it the system that needs to change? Which of the two?
Maybe it's not a question of the internal regulations. He didn't offend this or violate the internal regulations, but nevertheless, it isn't okay. He's a person with a very high exposure around the world, and so it's a question of confidence. And really, he has to clarify the situation, and he has to clarify it very fast. Otherwise, he is not the right person at the topic of the Swiss National Bank.
Well,
that's the reality.
Right. Well, Hans Germann, a member of the Swiss Upper House of Parliament representing the Swiss People's Party, thank you very much. Good to get your thoughts.